Hey, Richard, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. How you doing?
I don't know. I feel like we're both kind of not in the spirit of things. I don't have a costume. You don't have a costume.
Well, this is scary enough just as it is,
not
Avery.
Scary. It is not scary.
And there's lots of makeup on too. You wouldn't even know it, but there you go.
Okay, listen, let's get to business.
Yeah.
I'm surprised by this. The second cup is putting itself up for sale. I guess earnings are falling.
Yeah, it's been a tough ride the past few years for the coffee retailer. It said today it would form a special committee to look at its options, and usually when companies do that, it often results in the sale of the business. The Second Cup was founded back in 1975. It has almost 300 locations across the country, but it struggled because its rivals, Tim Hortons, Starbucks, even McDonald's, they've really expanded in the last couple of years and taken market share away from the Second Cup. Its quarterly earnings that came out today showed it lost $75,000 over the past 3 months, and that same-store sales were down by 1.2%, Avery.
Well, but at the same time, we're drinking more coffee. Demand for coffee beans at an all-time high.
It's never been higher, right? So supplies are tight, as they say. Brazil, the biggest coffee producer, the crop hasn't been good in Brazil because of a drought. So that's one reason that's been pushing the price up. But certainly we are drinking more coffee than ever. And reports say it's because of millennials. Younger consumers, they now account for 44% of coffee demand. And get this, younger millennials, those born after 1995, they start drinking coffee at an average age of almost 15 years old. So much younger than what we were looking at previously. And they say, Avery, that now in school, drinking coffee is kind of a fashion symbol. You want to have that Starbucks cup or that, a cup of coffee with you. It's a real fashion statement. So coffee consumption up, and the price of Arabica beans at the highest in almost 2 years.
I can tell you my 15-year-old talks about going to get a coffee, but it's because it's not just coffee. They put all kinds of stuff in there, right? It's like a milkshake.
A lot of sugar.
Yeah. Tons of sugar.
You get those frappuccinos, and it's sweet. Sweet
exactly.
as that.
You're filled with all kinds of bad business stories today. Bauer, the hockey equipment maker, filing for bankruptcy protection. Yeah, another company that has struggled in recent years. One of the big issues for Performance Sports, the maker of that Bauer hockey equipment, Avery, has been the bankruptcy of Performance Sports in the U.S. That was a big retailer in the States, and Bauer sold a lot of its hockey equipment through that store. So it went belly up, and as a result, Bauer Performance Sports is filing for bankruptcy protection. The company, though, says it's entered into an agreement to be purchased by some of its investors, Seaguar Capital and Fairfax Financial, for $575 million. Shares in Bauer were down today. All right, so October, though, has been a record-breaking month for business deals. 2 more announced today. What's behind all this deal-making? Well, absolutely. I mean, the big reason is cheap credit. Interest rates are low, so companies can afford to borrow money to buy their rivals. Synergy is another factor. You save a lot of money when you team up with someone else in your industry, but it's also reflective of the sluggish economy right now. So companies are not seeing a lot of sales growth. One way to boost earnings is to acquire another firm. So that, again, reflective of the very sluggish growth. Canada's economy only expected to grow like 2% next year. So companies, to make that bottom line fatter, are going out and buying their rivals. All right, so we know that vinyl is very cool. I love this story that Shauna was sort of teasing just a little while ago about this cassette store opening up in Toronto. Can you believe this? You got to get your Walkman. You still have your Walkman somewhere, Avery? No. Cassettes are back in, believe it or not. And this, what we're looking at here, this is called Dupe Shop. It's just opened for business near Bloor West and Brock Avenue, and they sell almost exclusively cassette tapes. You're going to find a lot of 90s rock bands in there, apparently. They also have new music. Labels are still producing cassette tapes, believe it or not. Most of these sell for about $5. There's a lot of DIY tapes in this store, too, where people make their own mixtapes. They bring it in. You can buy it. Overall, cassette tapes are actually surging. The National Audio Company, one of the largest cassette makers in the U.S., it sold 10 million cassette tapes last year, up 31% over the prior year. Who knew? I had no idea that record companies were still, or labels were actually still making music on cassettes or distributing on cassettes. They're still doing it, and musicians love it because it's cheaper to produce than vinyl. Really cheap to put out a cassette tape with your music on it. Love it. Okay, Burger King dressing up as the ghost of McDonald's in a Halloween prank. Fun little story here, and 2 rivals really going at it. So yeah, this is a Burger King in New York, covered in white sheets.
trolling its rival. There was a sign that said, McDonald's, boo, just kidding. And you know, Avery, McDonald's fired back with a written statement that reads, quote, who wouldn't want to masquerade as McDonald's for Halloween? After all, we're serving up treats like McCafe beverages, apple pies, and our world's famous fries. So they didn't miss a beat, McDonald's, to promote themselves. But there you go, two fast food rivals going at it on Halloween.
All right, well, I hope you have a really wonderful Halloween. Don't eat all the candies like I know I will.
I can't promise that. You know that. I can't promise that.
All right, nice chatting with you.